Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. We're back again with another G.I. Joe action figure review. In today's episode, we're taking a look at the 2018 G.I. Joe convention exclusive Sonic Fighters version of Tunnel Rat. Comes on a nice, awesome looking art file card thing. A very cool package anyways. You'll notice at the top, mine is kind of ripped. I got it for a discounted price because of that, and since I'm going to be opening it up, I didn't care anyways. But normally there's a little hooky thing here, but so you can kind of ignore that for a little while. It doesn't detract from the figure itself, but we get a new Sonic Fighters version of Tunnel Rat here. Flip this over to the side here. You get the extra blown up artwork here, along with the actual figure card itself. We'll try to zoom in here enough for y'all to just pause that, and you can read it if you want to. Again, this was the 2018 convention exclusive, so very nice looking. It's based on the original Sonic Fighter subset of G.I. Joe from the vintage line, and Tunnel Rat's an awesome figure, so we'll go from there. Let's go ahead and start opening this guy up. So Tunnel Rat is one of the my favorite figures from the whole G.I. Joe line, but unfortunately we've kind of struggled in the modern reiterations of these guys to come up with a really good Tunnel Rat figure. So I'm hoping this one will kind of make up for that slack. We've had quite a few actually different versions of Tunnel Rat here and since the 25th anniversary came out. But unfortunately most of them have all still been slightly off in one way or another. So anyways, we'll pull off Tunnel Rat here and start pulling out his accessories. We've got this cool machine gun, which is very much like his original vintage release. We got this crazy Sonic gun thing here. I don't know what this is, but we have this cool bullet chain. That's awesome. And we have the figure stand that's being a pain to come out of. There we go. Alright, in addition to that, we also have a flashlight attached to his hand here. We'll pull that out and pull this rubber band off his hand there. If I can get in there to it. There we go. He also has his explosive bag here, so we'll pull that off as well. We'll throw that in with the accessories. And let's go ahead and get started here. Let's zoom in, shall we? Let me move the flashlight back up here. Zoom! Yeah, I'm still working on that. Let's start with the figure stand here. Traditional 25th anniversary battle stand here. The nice raised G.I. Joe logo. 2-foot pegs. Code name on the front. And there's the back of it, just so y'all can see here. Pretty straightforward, pretty standard. I dig them anyways. Let's start with the flashlight. I don't know why, but we are. This thing is actually really cool. It's got some really nice detail work here. You got some nice texture here on the grip. And again, I apologize if y'all can't see this really well. I can't really tell. You do have a on-off button here on the top of it. You've got some kind of thing down here at the bottom. I don't know what that is. This is just flashing. Then you've got the cool little grooves here for the kind of focus on the light itself. So all in all, a really nice looking flashlight. Nice mag light there, I guess. Let's look at this crazy Sonic Fighter weapon. So these weapons are kind of meant to be futuristic and experimental, so they look a little odd because of that. Still, this one is an interesting one. It kind of has these cool little bolt things here, and this cool little clippy thing here, and yeah, beyond that, not a lot of detail work, but it's still an interesting concept here for a hand cannon. TNT bag. This is a very cool looking bag here. Got some nice detail work in it. The straps here as well have some nice detail kind of worked into them. Very nice job with this thing. We've got this cool bullet chain, which we've seen a couple of different versions of this, so it's really not much different about this thing. They got a little bit of paint slop going on around through here, but not that big a deal. Still really nice looking. And we have this cool M60 kind of weapon. I think it's an M60. It looks kind of like that anyways. A stylized version of it anyways. It does come with the the bipod on the front here. Just kind of slides into place on this little connector piece right here. Y'all can see that. It just kind of slides in there. We've seen this weapon a few times before. It's still really impressive, really nice. That's one of the, in my opinion, one of the reasons that the original Tunnel Rat from the vintage line was such a popular character. It's because he came with one of these cool M60s. So the bullet chain actually will attach here on the side. Get back over here. Just kind of grab that bullet there and just kind of line it up and pop it in place right there, and it kind of just holds in, well, mostly holds in place. And it's a little bit weirder than it should have been. It looks like they've actually taken the edge off of one of these bullets here for whatever reason. Traditionally, they've all been the same length here, and they fit in here and lock into place very easily, but for whatever reason, this one's being a pain. So, whatever, it still basically works, so still cool. Moving on to the figure itself, we do have another accessory here, which is the actual pistol in his holster here on his chest. It is removable. It's a nice little revolver here. Again, not a lot of detail work, but enough to make it look like a cool revolver. So we'll stick that back in his holster there. It's a really nice touch that we have that cool added holster there. We've seen way too many figures that have a holster kind of just molded in with the gun. Looking at the actual figure itself, I guess it's make or break time for this guy. We've, again, not seen a lot of good Tunnel Rat figures in the past. They've all had just a little bit bad going on with them, so we'll kind of see how this one stacks up. Anyways, detail-wise, we do have the traditional kind of bullet strap going around his chest here. Some nice grenades here on the side. Some nice detail work on his kind of web gear here. He's got his traditional bandana on his head and his around his neck there. Not a lot of detail work on the rest of his outfit here. He's got some nice pouches here. Nice belt buckle there. Some cool details on his gloves here. The clothing looks pretty nice. Nice folds going on anyways. And beyond that, it's kind of just plain and basic here. The head sculpt is much better than some of the ones we've seen in the past here, so I'll say they've got that going pretty well for them. On this particular release that I have in my hands anyways, they've missed a little bit of the paint job, so you've got a little bit around where the whatever you call that, the bandana thing, whatever. It was a do-rag originally, but whatever, where it doesn't quite attach to the hair underneath there, and they've kind of not painted that, so that's a slight detraction, but again, that should be just mine here, so I'm not going to count that against it. I really do like the color scheme on this guy. It's definitely a different approach to Tunnel Rat than we've seen in the past, but it works really well. On paper, it doesn't sound like it would, but in person, it does work pretty well here. So the kind of purplish color mixed with the light green, yeah, it works. And I always really like this particular release in the vintage line as well, so it's nice to kind of see that paint job come back here. And again, it is kind of striking how well it works here in the, whatever, 20 years later from that original release here. So, anyways, very nice looking. Let's take a look at articulation. The head does spin 360 degrees. You do have plenty of up and down motion there, so that's cool. Standard ball and swivel at the shoulder joints. Standard ball and swivel at the elbow joints. This one's a little sticky here. There we go. Looks like a standard swivel at the wrist joint. We do have the rib cage twist feature going on here, and he has a whole lot of ab crunch feature going on, so that's really nice there. Standard T-hook at the waist joints. Plenty of articulation there. Does have the double knee joints and swivel and a rocker at the ankle joint. So, all in all, really nice articulation on this guy. It works really well. Let's go ahead and get him geared up. So we'll go ahead and grab his TNT bag. Throw it over his shoulder there. I'm going to grab his large machine gun here. Grab his crazy sonic blaster rifle here. Pistol, whatever you want to call it. And there you go. You got a cool looking figure. So unfortunately, we don't really have a good place to put his flashlight, so I'm just going to slap that on his back here. See if I can work that in here. Should be able to. There we go. Just slide that in there. And then we've got this bullet chain that I know is not going to stay in place, but we can attach that there. So yes, technically he gets to hold all of his weapons, so that's extra bonus points. So, time for the large question is, does this one hold up? So for me, I actually do really like this particular version of Tunnel Rat. And I actually do think this is probably the best version we've got so far. So, I don't know, do y'all agree or not? Drop comments down below, let us know. But yeah, this guy works for me. It doesn't have the cool backpack yet. You can pull one of the ones out of the vintage release, or not the vintage, the original release that we got earlier on in the modern line. And this would be really good, really up there. So the other alternative here is to take the head off of this one and body swap it for one of the other releases, and I think you won't be disappointed there either. So yeah, I actually do really like this this version of Tunnel Rat, the Sonic Fighter version. Again, it is a 2018 convention exclusive, so it does come with the price tag, so it's going to be harder for y'all to get if you didn't pick it up at the actual convention yourself. The secondary market is pretty much all you have left to you. Along with the Law character in the line, this was a popular figure, so it's usually running around $100 right now, maybe just a little bit more. You'll have to make up your own mind whether or not it's worth it to you to kind of plop down that kind of cash for one figure. But I'm not disappointed in this guy, so I would say this one is highly recommended. So pick it up if you can. I don't think you'll be disappointed. That's all the time we've got for today, so thanks for watching. Drop some comments down below to let us know what you think of the Sonic Fighter version of Tunnel Rat. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with friends and let them know how awesome these G.I. Joe figures are and all the other action figure reviews that we've been doing. So, until next time, Yo Joe!